Version shit and alert.
Mad Boogie.
Yeah.
And this side.
No?
This is for Jake Gyllenhaal.
Hey.
Hey, Jack.
What's up? We did it.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you just like 3 questions about just what you enjoy about live music and how it makes you feel. So I have a few written down right here.
Okay.
One of them is.
I mean, I guess then and now it's a similar thing of, that word community that a lot of people like to throw around. There's like there's this sort of intimate feeling that happens when you get a bunch of bodies in a space that, and you're all sort of, existing in the moment for this one singular purpose. And that's both as a performer and as a listener. You're engaging in art, I guess, but also just this like ephemeral thing that in a few minutes for a song or 15-20 minutes to an hour for the whole set, it's kind of it's gone, it's over once the music ends. And so when I was a kid all the way through now, it's just that it's a feeling that you can't really get. I can't really find anywhere else except in that space, that communal kind of.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no. Yeah, completely.
I mean, geez, how long is the video call for? I mean, especially like one of the direct sort of events that happened that led me into making music was when I was, I guess I was 15, and I went to a show at a local church. It was called the Underground. It was a venue back where I grew up in South Bend, Indiana, and it was just one of the first times that I ever felt. I mean, literally, like in my life, that thing I was just talking about, that sort of like gathering of like, well, what are we doing? Like, this is so left of or away from the center that is a normal kind of like exist. What you're, the path that everyone seems to be in, that like that's laid out for you, and it's like, well, you do this, you do that, blah blah blah, and then there I was at 15, and like everyone had skinny jeans and like permed, like straightened hair and like fingerless gloves. Like this was 2006, and so it was just like it was radical, and I was like, whoa, what am I looking at, and then the music was just aggressive and loud and wild, and that show then led to me throwing my own shows at my own church. And yeah, I mean, there was this band called Lion of the North, and I just, the music started, and the bass player had like a computer that he would launch, sound clips with. And so like he would set, they would start the set with these clips, and it was, I mean, wild and surreal. Again, I can't stress how like different it felt from normal life, or the life around you, and normal everyday, I guess, culture or whatever. And it sparked something, and it was like, well, I gotta do this, and that was the first church venue, and then the shows I threw at my own, seeing that Line of the North band, and then once I started actually being in bands, I mean, being able to like usher in and help create that feeling for other people. A good show is a good show. I think you play shows. It's like when it feels good, it feels real good, and you feel like you're doing something. So yeah, I mean, I have probably 100 individual shows and concerts we can talk about, but as a general feeling, that's kind of how it happened, or how it feels.
One woman screamed hysterically, grabbed at the woman's body, asking her to wake up. I had to tell Gary.
It's similar. I mean, the temperature's thankfully a little different. It's not quite just it's not just sweaty. But you know, then yeah, it's like I had really awful stage fright. I still have awful stage fright, but then it was like, you know, I had to look at Dwayne, the drummer, you know, because he was like my best friend, and there was this like safety, and I take my glasses. I'm like super blind. I can't see without them. So not legally blind, obviously, but you know, I just can't see very well. So I take my glasses off, and then it was like I felt, you know, almost invisible. And then my only focus would be on Dwayne, and if I looked to my left or my right, I'd see Michael or Nick, and or you know, any band I've been, you know, in that period, and yeah, it was like, you know, the crowd would sort of become part of the band, because you know there were no barriers. It's not like we played stages. We played living rooms and basements and stuff, and so, you know, the crowd would sort of push against, like literally physically against me, and push into the drum set, but like everyone behind would be like screaming or singing the same thing I was, or you know, and so it was this like, you know, the word community is overused and sort of pretentious, but there was this communal sort of feeling, right, of like moving, sort of as one, and feeling these things all together. And so anyway, now, you know, 15 years later, it's like it's still pretty, you know, it's a similar connection. It's just, as you say, maybe a little softer, folkier, sure, but like I'm still singing about the stuff that's intense to me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wish I could write fluffy music that's just like, let's fun, you know, let's listen to it. It's like, no, it's like almost everything I write from then to now is just these like, you know, whatever's raw and real. And so, you know, I don't play that many shows anymore, but when I do, yeah, it's a similar thing. It looks like I'm looking straight up, but usually I'm closing my eyes or staring down at my guitar, so good to not psych myself out. But you know, I'm fortunate to live in a community, in a place here that they respect the craft and the art, and so everyone shuts up and listens, and it, you know, we all at the same time kind of feel like, you know, whatever I'm singing about, or by, you know, like when I see an artist or a band here, it's like everyone shuts up and we listen, and we engage, you know, sort of collectively, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was perfect. Thank you. What was
So
I,
what? This is
what was I
getting
gonna
used
say?
in your English class?
My English class, yeah.
Show me a path, give me signs so past